Everyone thinks they're falling behind on AI. They're not. They're just believing the wrong things about what matters. 25 years in enterprise technology taught me this. The tools aren't the problem. The comfortable lies are. Here's the first myth. Andrej Karpathy, one of the people who built OpenAI, said he feels behind on AI. Read that again. Someone who helped create this technology feels outpaced by it. That discomfort you're feeling, it's not about missing an app update. It's the suspicion that there's a level of capability you can't see yet. And if you don't reach it, it'll feel like a personal failure. That instinct isn't wrong, but it's aiming at the wrong target. The new reality isn't a skill gap. It's a chasm between those who can see what AI makes possible and those still optimizing what they already do. And it's widening faster than most organizations can measure. There's a name for what you're feeling, the AI acceleration gap. The distance between people who understand what's possible now and everyone else still debating productivity hacks. But here's the part that matters. It's not growing linearly. It's exponential, which means waiting doesn't put you a little behind. It puts you in a different category entirely. The real risk isn't missing the latest model, it's running outdated mental software. Your old operating system, the way you think about work, value, and capability. That's the liability. AI won't replace you, but someone using AI with a fundamentally different mental model will. That's not a threat. That's just math. So let's talk about the lies. The boardroom assumptions that sound reassuring and keep entire organizations frozen. These aren't just wrong. They're designed to make staying still feel responsible. The first lie? We'll give AI to IT. That's the instinct. New technology appears, toss it to the department that handles technology. Sounds responsible? It's actually strategic suicide. Here's why that's catastrophic. The old playbook treats AI like a tool problem. It's not. It's a capability shift. It changes what your organization can fundamentally do. And you just handed that decision to the people whose careers depend on the infrastructure not changing. The second lie sounds mature and thoughtful. We'll stay agile. In practice, that just means reacting to every shiny demo without any actual direction. I call it agility theater. It's not strategy. It's permission to stay frozen while looking responsive. Real strategy isn't doing everything. It's saying no to almost everything. In a space this chaotic, clarity is the only thing that saves you from exhaustion. Constantly pivoting isn't agility. It's just confusion with better branding. A clear strategy is what lets you move fast without burning out. The third lie. Let's start with a pilot. Sounds so prudent, so measured. But pilots are where good ideas go to die. They get tested, studied, debated, then quietly shelved. I call it pilot purgatory. It feels like progress. It's actually a very professional way to stall indefinitely. Here's the uncomfortable truth behind that. We think pilots reduce risk. But with AI, the valuable learning only happens in production. Real scale, real users, real problems. Anything less isn't a test. It's business theater, a way to feel productive while avoiding the actual work of implementation. Pilots don't de-risk decisions, they delay them. We've covered the organizational lies. Now let's get personal. These are the ones we tell ourselves, the comfortable stories that keep us stuck on the wrong side of that gap. We've all seen AI hallucinate a fact or botch simple math. It's tempting to dismiss the whole thing as overhyped, but writing it off entirely, that's the real mistake. Here's why. AI has what's called a jagged frontier. Superhuman at summarizing dense research, catastrophically bad at basic arithmetic. The questions that matter aren't, does it make mistakes? Of course it does. The questions are, do I understand where its peaks are and am I willing to climb them? Most people write it off because of the valleys. That's how you miss the entire mountain range. The next lie has two flavors, and both are wrong. Some think AI is magic that solves everything. Others treat it like a calculator, predictable, narrow, safe. Neither view is close to reality. And both make you miss what actually matters. It's capable in ways you don't expect, and limited in ways you won't predict until you use it. How to actually use AI without losing control. The right way to think about AI isn't the tool, it's the harness. A good harness means boundaries, defined outputs, a plan for failure because it will fail, and human checks at every point that matters. AI without structure is just expensive liability. But AI inside a well-designed harness, that's a force multiplier. Most organizations skip the harness and wonder why nothing changes. Now for the final lie. This one cuts deeper than technology. It's about the fundamental contract between you and your work. For generations, the deal was simple. You put in the years, showed loyalty, and the company took care of you. That social contract, it's already void. Most organizations just haven't updated the paperwork yet. Security doesn't come from tenure anymore. It comes from producing outcomes that wouldn't happen without you. Your ability to adapt is now worth more than your attachment to how things used to work. Companies are optimizing for results, and AI doesn't care how long you've been on the job. So what do we replace them with? A new operating system, new mental models for how value gets created, how organizations move, and what actually makes you irreplaceable now. Here's the new map. Shift from showing loyal effort to creating visible, undeniable value. Move from agility theater to real, disciplined strategy. Trade hopeful deployment for carefully designed harnesses. And stop defining yourself by your expertise. Start becoming an orchestrator of complex systems, where AI is just one key player. That's the operating system that survives what's coming. The people who thrive won't be the ones who mastered the old game. They'll be the ones who noticed the rules changed and upgraded their operating system before the gap became impossible to cross. That's not inspiration. That's just pattern recognition. The window's already closing. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Which comfortable lie is running quietly in the background of your mind right now? About your company, about this technology, about your own career? The ones shaping your decisions are the ones you haven't named yet. Follow for more.